When you cancel the tax on prospecting, all these companies will move in and prospect. When they prospect, they will relinquish some areas. And when they relinquish those areas, you can convert those areas into community mining sites. And you can also establish medium and small scale mining licenses there. And those people who are engaged in galamsey, those who are engaged, if you go to all the places where we have serious problems, you will find out that the galamsey activities are happening in people's concessions. And we need to encourage them to relinquish them. And they will only do so after they have prospected and established that they don't need those sites. But small-scale miners can do well at those sites. Mr. Speaker, what is the track record of the MPP when it comes to the management of our gold? We haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten about the royalties deal. Ajapa royalties. Ajapa royalties. When you attempted to sell all the future gold of this country, you tried to sell all the gold, the future gold that will be mined in this country, the royalties. You wanted to collect the money ahead and spend it. It was when Ghanaians resisted that you stopped. That is why my uncle Mate Hamidu, in his corruption risk analysis, described someone as the mother serpent of corruption. It was as a result of what happened in the attempt to force Ajapa royalties on the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, let me go to the health sector. What is the track record of the NPP? I remember during Corona, there was a period of time when every day we will be locked up in our rooms, and then a certain man will come and say, fellow Ghanaians, update number 8 of fellow Ghanaians. That's when he promised 88 regional and district hospitals. Later, it increased to 111. Mr.
Honorable Tobin, Honorable Member for Anya Sotum, why are you in the habit of shouting from the back? Please, I didn't give you the floor to be on your feet. Please. Please. Why? We are all honorable members. And we need to behave as such. Yes, Majority Leader, continue.
Mr. Speaker, during the 8th update on Sunday, 26th of April 2020, promised to construct 88 regional and district hospitals. Within 1 year, Mr. Speaker, he later increased it to 111 hospitals. Each hospital, the district hospital, each hospital is to cost 17 million United States dollars. How many beds? 120 beds. The NPP spent $400 million without finishing one single hospital. $400 million and did not finish one. Mr. Speaker, let's talk about corruption. Mr. Speaker, let me recall my Fufulsu Primary School mathematics. Let me recall the assistance of my Fufulsu Primary School mathematics. $85 million for a 160-bed hospital comes to 531,000 United States dollars per bed. The NPP wanted to construct hospitals, and per bed, it will cost the country $531,000 United States dollars. Full mathematics. Mr. Speaker, the district hospitals, $17 million per 120-bed hospital. By the same full mathematics standards, each bed is going to cost the Ghanaian $141,000 United States dollars. My brother, the minority leader, has constructed a big hospital in his constituency. I'm aware. He said it in this parliament, in Winneba. Is that how much he constructed the hospitals for, per bed? Mr. Speaker, this is a scandal of monumental proportions. And like I said, $400 million spent and not one single hospital completed. When even one district hospital is just 17 million by your standard. If you divide 400 million by 17, how many would you have completed by now? And you stand in this chamber, and for the past 1 week, you have no debating point except to say that we have not made provision for the completion of Agenda 111 hospitals. If you wanted to finish Agenda 111 hospital, you would have done so. And I'll show you how. I'll show you how. Mr. Speaker, as election approached, they pretended that 3 of them had been completed. One at Trede, one at Kokobin, the other at Bokro. What did they do? They went and hired generators, went there and started, put the lights on, got the old man, His Excellency the former president, to come and commission it, put the plaque there, and when he left, they took the generators away and locked the place. So not even one hospital is functioning. You promised 111 hospitals as far back as 2021. And you delivered zero. And NDC has been in office for only 9 months, and you expect all the hospitals to be finished. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? What level of expectation is this? Mr. Speaker, the health sector is doing well now. The National Health Insurance Authority had its fund uncapped. And since then, an additional 3.4 billion Ghana cedis has flown to the National Health Insurance Authority. The highest in the history of the scheme. The highest. Mr. Speaker, healthcare providers are now more confident. They know that when they treat patients and they make a claim under National Health Insurance, they will be reimbursed. There's greater confidence in NHIA. And NHIA has become financially reliable, has become stable, and is trusted by providers. Under the NPP, it was collapsing. Mr. Speaker, I have heard from this side that adding the expenditure on the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, Mahama Cares, amounts to capping NHIA funds. Mr. Speaker, this kind of argument can only be coming from people who are groping in the dark for an argument, because they don't have an argument. Mr. Speaker, if we hadn't awarded $100 million contract to Lightwave Solutions Limited for simply maintaining the records of hospitals, you would have had more money to finish Agenda 111 hospitals. Get fund. You borrowed under the Dachi bond and spent all the money ahead of its collection. You've forgotten. That's how you manage Get Fund. We came and we've uncapped Get Fund. And because we have uncapped Govt fund, so much money is going there. You are claiming that you introduce free SHS. But we can say we are better implementers of SHS. You are claiming that you introduce NHIA. I can say here that we are better implementers of NHIA. Because when you introduce and you don't finance well, the system will collapse. Mr. Speaker, common fund has now become common. Under the MPP, common fund was uncommon because they never released the money. We have uncapped, and we are making sure that 80% of common fund money is going to the assemblies directly. And it is enriching the districts, creating jobs in the districts, boosting the local economy. And I can see that when you look at inflation, it's down. When you look at the indicators, they are performing well. All because there is vibrant economic activity taking place at the local level. Mr. Speaker, let me go to taxes. This budget marks a shift from an economy that was burdened with e-levy to an economy that is free from e-levy. You stood in this chamber and said that this economy will collapse if e-levy was not imposed. We have removed e-levy and the economy is doing better. Mr. Speaker, when you say road, they'll say e-levy. When you say you need a hospital, they'll say allow us to pass e-levy. When you say you want to employ teachers, they say e-levy. And they force us and pass e-levy. We have removed e-levy and the economy is doing better. Mr. Speaker, this budget marks a shift from an economy burdened by COVID levy to an economy that is free from COVID levy. COVID levy has been taken away. Mr. Speaker, this budget has also confirmed that our decision earlier in the year to remove the withholding tax on gold sales is indeed revolutionizing the gold subsector. Mr. Speaker, an argument has been made in this House by friends opposite that we inherited a good economy. And I've heard my colleague, the Minority Leader, repeat that argument here. And that it is because we inherited a good economy that we are able to promptly pay our debts. I heard that. Mr. Speaker, the reason why we are able to pay our debts is because we replaced fiscal recklessness and criminal management of the economy with honest, responsible fiscal management of the economy. We replaced recklessness with prudence. The era of bloated, opaque, and corrupt expenditures are no longer the order of the day. Because Atuforcing will not allow bloated, opaque, and corrupt expenditures. If that is what you say people are complaining about, this side of the House supports him. We will spend, but we will spend on the right matters. We will send the money to common fund. We will send the money to Govt fund. We will send the money to NHIA. Mr. Speaker, and we will spend and we will retool our armed forces. Mr. Speaker, if this government was dumping $58 million in massive holes in the name of building a cathedral, we would not have been able to honor our debt obligations. 97 million. Mr. Speaker, if we're looting and plundering the resources of ECG the way it was done in the past, we will not be able to honor our debts. If we're giving HAPTEL 3% of ECG revenues, we will not be able to pay our debts. ECG developed their own mobile app, and HAPTEL came and collected $12 million from them just to enhance that app. $12 million to enhance an app. And after that, they were taking 3% of the revenues that have been generated by the same app that ECG used their money to develop, for which Haptel collected $12 million to enhance. If we were managing the economy that way, we will not be able to honor our debt obligations. If we're wasting money on fraudulent schemes like Zipline, we're giving them $50 million to drop blood in rural areas. Those monies could have fixed the roads to those rural areas. Mr. Speaker, if Atufosun was approving monies so that we can give $108 million contract for servicing and maintaining our ambulances, we will not be able to honor our debt obligations. Mr. Speaker, $108 million to service ambulances, not to buy new ambulances, but to buy spare parts and service ambulances. This is how you manage the economy. That's how you could not pay the debt. That's how you put us in the kind of debt that you put us. That's how you had to do the debt exchange program. Mr. Speaker, if we were stealing GRA money under contracts similar to SML, where 1.5 billion Ghana cedis was paid to SML without proper evaluation, we will not have been able to honor our debt obligations. Mr. Speaker, SML, it is reported, when they added upstream oil contracts to them, the contract value ballooned to close to 500 million United States dollars. Indeed, I've come to accept their name, Strategic Mobilization Limited, to strategically mobilize and loot the monies of Ghanaians. If you were not strategically mobilizing and looting Ghanaians' money, you would have been able to construct 111 hospitals in 4 years. Mr. Speaker, now the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, wants us to sympathize with him that he is sick. Even when he was sick and his own MPs wanted him to resign, he refused and said he could manage the economy despite his obvious ill health. We're all here in this chamber. It was obvious that he wasn't well, but he insisted on managing the economy. Today, he's been called to come and account, and we are being told that we should sympathize with him because he is sick. Mr. Speaker, for 4 good years, he turned this chamber into a Bible school. I remember his famous his famous Bible quotations. Matthew 14:13 to 21. He referred us to the loaves and fish parables. I remember Deuteronomy 8:18. Mr. Speaker, after many years of tutelage, after many years of being taught by Ken Ofori-Atta, which we have learned the Bible. So today, I'll refer him to Luke 19, verse 1 to 10. Luke 19, verse 1 to 10. And since my brother started with a lengthy Bible quotation, let me also go through a lengthy Bible quotation. Luke 19, verses 1 to 10 says, Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there by the name of Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector. What was Ken Ofori-Atta? Chief tax collector. He was in charge of GRA. And what do GRA do? They collect tax. So clearly, Zacchaeus in the Bible resembles Ken Ofori-Atta. A man was there by the name Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and he was wealthy. A man who owns a bank, data bank, owns enterprise. Is he not a wealthy man? Is there no resemblance between Zacchaeus and Ken Ofori-Atta? He wanted to see Jesus. He wanted to see Jesus. But because he was short, he could not see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I say to Ken of Oriata, come back to Ghana immediately. Zacchaeus! Zacchaeus! Oforiata! Oforiata! And Jesus said to Zacchaeus, I must stay at your house today. Mr. Speaker, if you recall, we tried to go and stay in his house recently. So he came down at once, and Jesus welcomed him gladly. All the people saw this and began to mutter, he has gone to be the guest of a sinner. The people said that Jesus has gone to be the guest of a sinner. Mr. Speaker, I didn't start with the Bible today. My brother started with the Bible today, and I'm just following his footsteps so that he knows I haven't forgotten my Bible lessons too. Mr. Speaker, the people said he has gone to be the guest of a sinner. But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, look, Lord, here and now, I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. Kenofodata, come back. If you haven't cheated anybody, come back. If you haven't cheated anybody, come back. And when you come and we determine that you have cheated, you have to pay 4 times. And Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house.
Honorable
Mr. Speaker,
Jinapo, it appears the members don't want you to leave. It appears they are happy about your presence. That's just by the way. Yes, Honorable Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, and Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house because this man too is a son of Abraham. Ken of Oriata too is a son of Ghana, so he should come home. The Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. Mr. Speaker, I will end my Bible lessons here. And to show to my colleague, my minority leader, that he doesn't know the Bible better than me. Mr. Speaker, if he doesn't know, my mother used to own a church. Let's continue. Financial sector mismanagement of the NPP. Paragraph 275, Paragraph 258 to 268 speak to the good health of our financial sector. The sector is rebounding and confidence is being restored after the NPP collapsed the sector. Amen. The NPP destroyed the financial sector at great cost to the taxpayer, and I will demonstrate it. At the end of 2024, government had spent 29.8 billion Ghana cedis to support the financial sector cleanup exercise. 23 billion for banking and then 5.16 billion for the non-banking institutions. Mr. Speaker, damage caused. 9 commercial banks were collapsed by the MPP. Unibank, Royal Bank, Beige Bank, Sovereign Bank, Construction Bank, UT Bank, Capital Bank, Premium Bank, Heritage Bank. All these 9 banks were collapsed under NPP. 347 microfinance institutions were collapsed by the MPP. 39 microcredit companies were collapsed. 29 finance houses and savings loans companies were collapsed. Mr. Speaker, in the end, they deprived 10,000 workers of their jobs. Today, you stand here and ask us, where are the jobs? When you collapse all the banks and render the people jobless. When you collapse all the banks, they collapse the banks and they spend monies, fraction of which could have saved the banks. That was your style of economic management. Let me apply my Fufulsu mathematics. They increased the capital adequacy ratio to 400 million Ghana cedis. Capital adequacy ratio. And then you collapse 9 banks and spend 11.7 billion Ghana cedis in 2018 to clean the resultant mess of the collapse of 9 banks. If you divide 11.7 billion Ghana cedis by 400 million, you will get 29 banks. So 9 banks are sick. You don't cure them. You collapse them, and then you spend money that you could have used to create 29 banks to deal with the mess. That was your record when it came to the management of the finances of this country. Mr. Speaker, this is Fufulsu mathematics. Mr. Speaker, and most of the banks that were collapsed were our local banks. You talk about job creation. Mr. Speaker, let's look at the social and also the capital expenditure outlay in the budget. You will see clearly that those expenditures, when implemented, will definitely create jobs. Amen. Over 60 billion Ghana cedis worth of road contracts have been awarded under the big push. Amen. When you hear big push, you should hear big jobs. Big push, big jobs. 60 billion Ghana cedis worth of road contracts. Can you imagine how many carpenters will be used? Can you imagine how many masons will be used? Can you imagine how many engineers will be used? Can you imagine how many truck operators will be used? How many bulldozer operators will be used? How many cement sellers will sell? Do you know how many jobs will be created by the big push of over $60 billion contracts? I'm surprised that you don't understand where to spend. Why? When Donald Trump was talking about creating jobs, he talked about big expenditure. Big ticket expenditure creates big jobs. And I am very confident that by the end we finish with the over 60 billion Ghana cedis big push projects, not less than 400,000 direct and indirect jobs will be created. Yeah. And we will be halfway through our target. Yes. One also tells. The kitchen is getting too hot.
Honourable,
Kitchen is getting too hot. 100 million Ghana cedis for the complete. Mr. Speaker, all these will create jobs. So those who are saying that this budget doesn't say anything about creating jobs, I'm wondering where in the budget they were reading social because it's littered everywhere that these measures, when undertaken, will definitely create jobs. Mr. Speaker, let me go to social expenditure. We have allocated 1.1 billion to the LEAP program. 1.1 billion Ghana cedis to the LEAP program. It's never happened before. Biggest jump. We have programmed 9 billion in 2026 for NHIS claims. 9 billion. Never happened before. We're establishing the Women's Bank. You say 401 million Ghana cedis cannot establish a bank. You don't establish a bank one day. The team needs the 400 million first to go through the process of acquiring the license from the central bank. That's what they need first. If they haven't acquired the license, on what basis would they now be taking money to build banking halls? So you need the money for the banking license first. And that is why you have 401 million Ghana cedis to meet the capital adequacy requirement. Mr. Speaker, 170 million for the National Apprenticeship Program, social expenditure, skills building, jobs. 169 million Ghana cedis for BCE registration. 474 million for nursing training allowances. 2.3 billion for Ghana Medical Cares, Mahama Cares. 292 million for free sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, you spoke about sanitary pads. I'm sure at the right time, the Minister for Education will give you the actual prices and the quantity of the sanitary pads that have been procured. And 50 million has also been allocated for the procurement of fishing nets. 20 million for the creative arts. Mr. Speaker, all these allocations and the expenditure will create jobs. Now you talk about 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy is not an event so that you will say, oh, why it hasn't happened. 24-hour economy is a process. It is a process of enabling a quantum leap in our national productive capacity so that we will produce 24 hours. Mr. Speaker, and one fundamental component of being able to produce 24 hours is to enhance your security. If you cannot secure banks to open beyond a certain point, they cannot work 24 hours. If you cannot secure filling stations to open 24 hours, can they open 24 hours? They cannot, because of security. If there is no energy, adequate energy supply, there will be no 24-hour economy. And so we are dealing with the fundamental issue that will enable a 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, and it is a lie that we have overcapacity when it comes to energy generation. I can assure you that as we speak, we are consuming all our installed capacity. Check from the energy minister. Check from the energy minister. He will tell you, not because of 1D1F, because the private sector has suddenly become confident in our economy and they are investing and they are producing and they are using energy. That is what is generating the surge in the utilization of our energy. So we're almost at that point where we are going to get overstretched in terms of the supply of energy. And that is why we are introducing structural reforms. We are building a second gas processing plant so that we can bring in more independent power producers. And that is why we are thinking smart. And instead of keeping our billions of dollars in accounts in the US, which is generating only 1% for us, we will rather bring it back here and then we will use it to establish our own power generation plants, and we will produce power at a much, much cheaper cost. To establish the 24-hour economy authority is in this house. It has arrived. What you've been asking about, the bill to establish the 24-hour economy authority has landed. I click it. It has clicked. I pick it. I pick it. Mr. Speaker, 24-hour economy. I pick it. And my brother stood here and said, John Mahama is increasing electricity tariffs by over 18% in 2025. Mr. Speaker, we are all listening to radio. I have not heard the announcement of a tariff increment of 18% in this country. At all, I have not heard. We were invited to a session organized by PURC, and they established that in 2024, when you were supposed to allow them to increase electricity tariffs, you prevented them from increasing electricity tariffs. And that is how the debts accumulated, because ECG was not making enough money to pay those debts. And so they were pleading with us to allow them to increase the tariffs. But no increment has been made yet. And that is the job of PURC. So, Mr. Speaker, that statement that he made here, that tariffs have been increased by 18%, is totally untrue. It is false. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by thanking the Minister of Finance for bringing such an excellent budget to this House, for such excellent, smart, forward-looking plans and strategies to transform our economy. Mr. Speaker, major initiatives have been planned. There is a plan to construct a sewage treatment plant to replace the existing one here. There is a plan to construct an interconnecting concourse between Terminal 2 and Terminal 3. All those are jobs. There is a plan to construct a multi-purpose, multi-story car park at Terminal 3. Jobs will be created. Sunyani Airport runway and terminal renovation and extension will happen. Bolaratanga Airport will be developed. Wa Airport will be renovated. Mr. Speaker, and as for social interventions, I'm surprised that he doesn't know that no fee stress is a social intervention. I'm surprised that he doesn't know that Mahama Cares is a social intervention. I'm surprised that he doesn't know that all the money that we are spending on education through Govt Fund, which was established under the NDC, is a social intervention. And I'm surprised that he doesn't know that Common Fund, which was established in the Constitution, passed by the NDC through, at the time that the PNDC was in office, is a major social intervention. So we have a longer history of social intervention than you can recount. So I don't want you to ever say that NDC has never introduced a social intervention. Mr. Speaker, on that note, let me thank honorable colleagues and thank the minister and say that this year's commentary on the budget have been very impressive. I'm impressed with the contributions, and from this stage, I believe we will go and consider the sector budgets. I urge chairpersons, I urge ranking members to use the facilities that we have created, which is the live telecast of committee budget hearings, so that the public can see the work that we do at committee in the consideration of the budget. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much.